Today, we're going to discuss some ratchetness. People send me links to stuff like different articles and videos that they find online that they think would make, interesting discussion. So today I get this video from from a friend of mine on Facebook, and it's a link to this guy's not to call it YouTube video, and he's going on and on about black women and their attitude. And he's like, black women have an attitude, and I'm like, okay, what's that mean? So I started listening to the video, and he's like, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, or what kind of event it is, or what part of the country you're in. Black women have a funky attitude, and I think they're mentally unstable. I think they have a chemical imbalance. I think they're sinister. And it comes from their childhood. I mean, he was just going on and on talking about black women are passive aggressive. I mean, just all this stuff, right? And I'm sitting there rolling. I tell you, I was just crying. I was laughing so hard. It's like, I know he didn't mean this to be comedy, but it was just the same. And then I thought, poor little thing, his little heart is just all up in this, and he is just all messed up behind, these attitudes that he says black women have. And then he was like letting loose with his feelings. He's like, black women just don't give a fuck about black men anymore. Damn Skippy. You know why? Because y'all are crazy. Now you got to up there talking about black women are crazy. Do we go around abducting you to the tune of over 100,000 people? Do we beat you and put you in the hospital and kill you every time you turn around and then want to kill? No, that's y'all doing all that. So you talking about somebody, is crazy and not wrapped too tight. I mean, look at dude who just went off and shooting people in the face and all this sort of shit because he mad because a woman left him, and blaming his stupidity and his lack of self-esteem on his mother and the girlfriend who left him because he was stupid. I mean, really? You think that makes her crazy? So then he says, well, black women say that they want a real man, but then they wear false eyelashes and weaves and fake nails, and then they have fake boobs and fake butts. I'm like, nah, you got that confused. That's white people. Or some strippers, I admit, some of the strippers do, get things augmented in that way because they know that men like it. So it's like, if y'all didn't always talk about big butts and big boobs, no black woman would want that, no woman, period. But because they know that you guys like it, they go and they, pay to get one if they don't already have one, or they pay to get what they got, enlarged because they know that's what you like. So if you don't like that, then stop telling women that you do. And then they'll stop doing it because they're doing it because they think it's a way to attract you. Oh my God. So then he started talking about what's a good man, right? Now, we done already had this conversation where they think just doing some old basic ass shit makes them a quote good man. And my thing is, okay, so he kept talking about this dude working a 9 to 5. How does that make him a good man? That just makes him a fucker with a job. I mean, really? And like, okay, so he got a job and he works 9 to 5. So do 80,000 million other people. I mean, why does that elevate him to the status of good? How does he treat that woman in the relationship? So he's all mad because he's like, well, she got a good man, and he go to work every day trying to provide for her, and then she cheats on him. She probably cheats on him because he got a little dick. She cheats on him because he doesn't know how to talk to her. She cheats on him because he's stupid, ugly. I mean, just because he's going to work doesn't mean he's making no money. He might be one of those people making some little minimum wage job or some shit. I mean, you know what I mean? You can't afford that these days. You better be pulling in some bank. So, he's going on, and, women are always praying to God they want a good man, and then they have one, and they don't know how to treat him. Black women are never satisfied. And black women are satisfied. But see, this is the problem. This the problem. This the crux of the issue. You guys want us to be satisfied with what you want us to have. You want us to be satisfied with what you want to give us, not with what we want. And so you get mad when what you want to give us is not what we want. And we reject it, and we summarily reject you. Then you get an attitude, well, I'm a good man. Well, you might be good for somebody else over there. You're not good for this chick right here because you don't meet her standards. And whether you think you do or not, the bottom line is the person who decides if you meet her standards is the woman, not you. Okay, so let me turn my page to my next. I have to show you guys the scribbles. Can you see that? Okay, that is my handwriting. It's awful. I will admit it. Oh my goodness. I think I could have been a doctor because my handwriting would have fit right up in there. Okay, so then he started talking about scandalous hood rat hoes and that he's tired of it in the black community, that they're messing up everything in the black community. Um, my thing is this: unless you are a hood rat yourself, why are you looking at hood rat women and using them as the basis to judge black women? I mean, you go, it's like white people going to the trailer park and talking about, white people. You holding that as an example. I mean, really? That's the best you can do? You can't figure out that okay, there's like educated black women, they're professional business owners, they're doctors and doctorates and attorneys and CEOs and CFOs and all this kind of stuff right there up here. And then you gonna go down here to the little welfare baby mama types, that dropped out of high school or whatever, got their GED, and then you're gonna be talking about using them as the standard of measurement. And they might be some very nice people, so don't think that I'm talking about the ladies. What I'm talking about is his decision to use people as an example that are not at even like mid-level or at the highest level of achievement amongst African Americans. He's going to the bottom and then, complaining about the people at the bottom. Now they trying to get to the middle, the ones that's trying to do something. Yeah, they may have started off behind the eight ball when they were young. Yes, they had some struggles, whatever. But as long as they're trying, see, I'm in their corner. As long as you like not satisfied with where you are, you trying to get better, then I will lend you my full support. But in a situation like this, he's, taking those unfocused women, those ones with no direction and no purpose, just running around acting stupid, and he's comparing them, to the good guys that he thinks, that these women are after. I'm like, okay, dude, whatever you want to do. So then he started talking about this dude whose name I forget, though Steve or something like that. The one who was up shooting around people, shot the old man in the face yesterday or the day before, whenever it was. He started talking about, that example, and then he also referenced a guy who committed suicide. I guess he did it on Facebook Live too, and that the guy was upset because he worked 9 to 5, and he was a quote good man, and that the woman that he was with wasn't satisfied with him and made him feel like he wasn't shit, and that he killed himself. I'm quoting here. Now you know that is not my vernacular. He killed him himself, he says. So I'm like, okay, he killed himself. I don't know quite what to do with that, but I mean, I guess, brother man was feeling kind of down and out. And I'm like, why is that the woman's problem? Because like if she, wasn't satisfied with you, you have options here. One of them is to leave her alone and go find somebody who appreciates you working your little 9 to 5. But see, when a woman's in a relationship with you, like say this, you was working the 9 to 5 before she met you, right? So now you still working the 9 to 5, and you trying to project like that's doing everything for her. That ain't doing shit for her. That's the same shit you was already doing before you ever met her, before you ever saw her face. So how is that for her? I mean, hello? What are you doing in the relationship that brings her joy, that makes her smile, that brings her happiness, that makes her feel satisfied emotionally, that makes her look forward to you coming home every day? I mean, how do you talk to her? What interactions do you have with her that make her feel like she can't wait to see you? What do you do? See, this is kind of like foreign to dudes. They don't understand what you be talking about. They think that they're supposed to fit in this little box where they go to work and come home, and that you're supposed to be like, oh my God, Hercules, Hercules, and all excited about it and stuff. And it's like, you need to be doing more than that, because that's just some basic shit. That don't mean nothing. So then he starts talking about, he's really actually he stayed on this thing about the dude committing suicide. He kept bringing that up. And I'm like, okay, so one motherfucker who was stupid and had low self-esteem killed himself. I mean, what you want me to do? That's where he should be dead, because he's dumb. And this is the thing. Oh, I meant to look it up, but I forgot. Somebody else might look it up and put it in the comment section. But as I recall, the highest rate of suicides amongst males is black males. So that means to me that it's a whole bunch of y'all that's punk ass and weak and don't have no backbone. You can't stand the struggle. So you sit up there and want to kill yourself to end it all because it's easier. That's why you do it. So, don't put that on women. That's your escape. That's you trying to shift blame because you don't have the cojones to handle life. So you just check out with a gun to the head or some whatever way you're gonna do it, and then try to blame it on women, just like the dude who was shooting people up and and then ultimately killed himself when the police got hold of his ass. Oh, Weakton, he didn't want to go to prison, so he gonna kill himself. Oh, bitch ass motherfucker, and that's where he deserved to be dead. I don't feel any pity for him. And people were like, "Well, do you feel sorry for the old man?" No, I don't feel sorry for his pedophile ass either. Because the girl he's with him he's in his 60s or 70s or however old he is. He started fucking with this young girl when she was only 16, and so that's like statutory rape. He's a fucking pedophile. So now I don't feel sorry for him. I mean, really, in my mind, he wiped out something that's like useless. So I'm fine with that. It's a twofer as far as I'm concerned. So I have no pity for either one of them. Now, so then he says, well, black women are evil and twisted, and they're really wrong. Something's wrong with them mentally, and there's something sinister, and they're just pure fucking evil. Ah! Now, if he was talking about me, I'd say, right, you're right. I am. I'm all that. But one thing I'm not going to do is all this networking and all this other stuff he's talking about. And I don't go out of my way to be evil to just everybody. I'm only evil to people that deserve it. Okay, so then he gives this example, right? And I would definitely wanted to talk about this. Okay, he gave this example of how black women have an attitude for no reason, and he was just really all up in his feelings about this situation. So I wanted to break it down for him about what really happened and why it happened that way, because he didn't seem to get it. So the way dude tells the story, he's in his car and he pulls into this little convenience store, whatever, and he left his phone in the car. So he goes into the store. There's a woman on her phone, as he said. She's on her phone, and he asks her what time it was. She could tell him the time. And he says she looked at him all kinds of crazy and was like, nigga, why you all up in my face and stuff. And see, in his mind, she got like that because she thought he was trying to get at her. I mean, I'm not saying she didn't think that part of the way, but because I wasn't there, so I can't say. But I'm gonna tell you what the main reason why she got mad, and the main reason why he's stupid. Okay, number one, you just was in your car with your phone. You should have looked at the clock in there. Okay, most people have a clock in their car. They have one on their phone. They have a watch. There's always a clock in the store. So there were all kind of, you could have asked the clerk what time it was. You had all kind of options to get the time besides interrupting a woman on the phone. So see, she's in the middle of something. You don't know who she was talking to or what the conversation was about. You don't know how urgent it was. You don't know nothing. All you know is that she didn't do what you fucking wanted her to do, and then you got an attitude about it and want to make a video ranting and raving about the fact that she gave you attitude. She should have cussed your fucking ass out. That's what she should have done, because you just think I mean, where's the sense of entitlement? You see, the woman is on the phone. She's busy. So for you to interject yourself into her life with the expectation that she stopped doing what she's doing to entertain you with the time, nigga, for real? That's what you really thought. See, you lucky, like in California here, you would have got cussed the fuck out so bad it wouldn't be, I mean, your feelings would be hurt 10 years later, because we don't play that shit around here. You don't interrupt women with bullshit. And the whole thing there is, he just had no clue of how he came across to her. You just purposely sought her out, like trying to interject yourself in her world and just interrupt her flow and do all kind of shit to put yourself in a position of importance to a complete stranger in her life. And that's why she gave you that fucked up look, and that's why you got attitude, because you don't deserve that kind of attention from a stranger. She don't owe you shit. The time of day, the time of night, a smile, a wink, a friend. I mean, nothing. She don't owe you crap. So you lucky she said that, because she could have just rolled her eyes and ignored your ass. But she did at least tell you something so you would know what time it was and think about doing that shit again in the future. See, this is an issue with men. Yeah, I don't know where y'all get off with this stuff. Where you think that because you want something from a woman, she's obligated to give it to you. That if she doesn't give it to you, there's something wrong with her. No, what's wrong here is your mind. Your mind is all fucked up. You start thinking that you're all deserving of all this attention and focus from even complete strangers in the store. Oh my God, these dudes are just too much for me. So that was a really an interesting thing, and he was just like too upset about that, calling her all kind of names and saying that she had all kind of attitude. And this whole thing about black women having attitude, niggas use that as a catch-all phrase for any time a woman does something or says something that doesn't respond the way that he wants her to, then she got an attitude. And the bottom line is, you know what? Just stay in your envelope and then you won't experience that problem. Every time that they say black women have an attitude, it's because you come into a situation with an expectation that you're going to be treated special and like you're important to a woman who doesn't even fucking know your name. And she's not interested in knowing your name, obviously. Otherwise, when you came up to her, she would have been smiling and, more welcoming. So the fact that you're looking at her and trying to talk to her, she's mean mugging you, that's your clue to back off. You're supposed to do like this and then back up. Leave her alone. That's what you're supposed to do. But no, y'all don't do that. You just like, I'm just trying to talk. You could be polite. You could be this and that. And she's like, no, I could be somebody who blows your fucking face off. That's what I could be. But it's like, you just don't understand that nobody wants to talk to you like that. Leave women alone. Just leave them alone. Unless you're in an environment where you're there to meet people, like a party, a club, a networking event or something. You just approaching women in some random place when especially they on the phone. You're not. Please don't expect to get her attention. Just don't. You following women through the grocery store and down, the aisles of the department store and all this stuff, and you looking like a fucking stalker. You guys need to really understand what you look like from the female perspective. As a matter of fact, on this coming Thursday, how can I put this? I guess I'll put it in the description of this video. I'm doing a online meeting. It's going to be the first one of a new series I want to start, where I'm going to be having he said, she said conversations with a select group of men. If you have a recommendation for somebody that you think has some good sense, so that we can have a meaningful conversation about some issues, black community issues, American society and culture, gender issues, relationships, dating, whatever. The table's going to be pretty open. But I want to do this new series where I'm talking to men, and we're sharing and going back and forth in a sane way, giving the gender perspectives on certain situations. So if you got a recommendation, write to me at survivingdating, all one word, at gmail.com with your idea. So we start this Thursday. I have this guy on talk by Q. I forgot what his handle is, but on Twitter. But that's where I found him. And mature guy, real balanced, real sensible, and I think we'll have a very good conversation. So I'll put all the information so that you can join in discussion if you choose to. It'll be this Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, which is 9 if you're on the East Coast, or 8 Central Time. And then the following Thursday is the webinar, or AKA the debinar, on self-esteem. If you have not signed up yet, I will also put the link for that in the description so you can sign up for that too. It's $15 and it'll be well worth your time if you have any struggles and issues with your self-esteem and your confidence. And this goes for males and females. I'm going to be giving you some ideas about how you got that way and what you can do to start working on fixing yourself. So anyway, this whole thing here, this guy, I don't know, he was just all up in his feelings, and a lot of what he said about black women having attitude is a very common thought amongst black males. And they always think that black women have attitude, but they never consider where those attitudes originated from, and what those attitudes towards men just coming up to them randomly, what does that mean? What's triggering that? And if I think they really thought about it, they could understand, you guys be doing too much. Just leave these women alone and they'll be fine and they won't have an attitude unless you approach them in a way, like I said, in a setting where they're open to having some interaction with you. You just walking up to them on the street and expecting somebody to respond to you, and she's trying to do her own thing, shopping, thinking about her was she gonna cook for dinner, or picking up her kids from daycare, or she had a fight with her boyfriend, or she had a fight with her mom. You don't really know what's going on in people's world, but you just walk up to them and expect to get treated like a king. See, that's some narcissistic crazy shit right there. And you want to talk about somebody having mental problems, that's y'all. All right, Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com with another great video. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.